I'm going to tell you how to make more money with your live streams because look, if your equipment goes down, you're going to have to buy new stuff. If you have subscriptions that you pay for related to your live streaming, then you're going to have to keep those up to date and so on. So why not make some money from your live stream to cover all of those expenses and maybe even put some extra money in your pocket? I'm going to tell you 5 different ways to do it, plus a bonus one at the end if you're somebody that live streams to YouTube. Starting right now with number 1, affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing, in case you're not familiar with that term, is where you find products or services that will offer you a commission in exchange for any leads or sales that you send their way. All you have to do is sign up for the affiliate program. From that point, they will give you a unique tracking link and you will put that link in the descriptions of your live streams. You can use this on any platform. And if somebody clicks on your link and they make a purchase after clicking on your link, then you are going to get a commission. That commission could be large or small based on the commission structure. So for example, if you're sending people over to Amazon, in that case, they pay a really low percentage. However, if you do send somebody over to Amazon, even if they don't buy the thing that you're sending them to, but they make another purchase within 24 hours, you'll still get a commission for that as well. Now, I have a few tips for you when it comes to affiliate marketing. The very first is, when possible, try to find things to bring attention to that are recurring. In other words, subscription-based things. So when people go and they sign up for whatever that thing is that you're bringing attention to, for every month that they pay into that, you actually get a commission every single month. So because of that, over time, the sales end up swelling up, which then kind of keeps you off of the hamster wheel, so to speak, of trying to get those one-off sales. It's also important to keep in mind, and I know you're doing this already, but I just have to say it, that you approach affiliate marketing with integrity. And the reason for that is because when you are giving people recommendations for things, especially things that they're going to be spending money on, then in that case, if you give great recommendations and they're happy with the products or services that you're sharing, they're going to keep taking your recommendations, which then is going to make it easier for you to sell down the road. However, if you're just trying to get that quick hit and make a few bucks, and the person that you recommend something to, they actually subscribe to that product or service, or they buy that product or service and they're not happy with it, guess whose recommendation they are not going to take anymore? That's right, you guessed it. Your recommendation. They're not going to take it anymore because they're going to think to themselves, oh, the last thing they recommended, it was kind of garbage. So I wasn't happy with it. You know, I ended up getting a refund or whatever the thing is. So because of that, they're not going to take your recommendation anymore. So make sure that anything you're recommending is something that you would use yourself, something that you do use yourself, and something that you stand behind. Another tip I have for you in regards to affiliate marketing is you have 2 different approaches you can take. The very first approach is the passive approach. The second approach is the active approach. With the passive approach, all you're doing is you're putting links in your video description. Maybe you just have a graphic that pops up on the screen every now and then, and you're not really trying to bring much attention to the thing. You're just kind of letting it happen. You're not really trying to bring it to the forefront of the conversation. With the passive approach, you will make sales over time, but you won't make as many sales as you will if you take the active approach. And the difference between the passive and the active approach, as I'm sure you can tell by the name, is when you're taking the active approach, then you are trying to bring more attention to it intentionally. So for example, you might mention it more. You might have more graphics that show up on the screen to bring attention to it. You might have a segment during your live stream to where you review something or you highlight that product or service that you're trying to bring attention to. The idea with that active approach is that you're just being a lot more intentional about sharing the information that people need in order to decide if that thing is something that they're interested in or not. Also, when it comes to affiliate marketing, you can do other things as well. For example, you can set up an email list that is automated. So when people sign up for it, then you're sharing value emails along with emails that share information about products or services that you are an affiliate of that would add value to the audience that's signing up for that email list. Depending on your technical skills, you can build a website or hire someone else to build a website that's a resource for all of the different things that add value to your audience. But whatever your approach, if you want to make more sales, just make sure that you are being more active than you are passive. But of course, in some cases, passive is the appropriate thing to do. In other cases, being more active is also the much more appropriate thing to do. The next thing on our list is crowdfunding. Now, when it comes to crowdfunding, if you're on YouTube, they have specific options for that. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But if you're not on YouTube and you're streaming to other platforms, in that case, you can also use services like Patreon. You can use services like Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. And through these services, they set it up in a way to where people can donate to you through these services or support you, and you give something in exchange for that support. Another really big win with these services is that they also have recurring options built in. So for the the people that do opt into the recurring, what's going to happen is you also get to build your income over time with that as well, because every single month you're driving new people. And as long as you can add value that retains those people that are joining and contributing to what it is that you're doing, they are going to keep being a part of it, which means that over time your income will grow the bigger that group of people gets inside of your crowdfunding platform. Now, right now, you might be thinking to yourself, I wonder what I could give away, or I wonder what I could do, or I wonder what I could give in exchange for somebody to donate or support me through one of these crowdfunding platforms. Content creators do all kinds of really cool stuff. I've seen everything from people sending out personalized postcards every month. I've seen things from people giving graphic packs out every month. I've seen things from people just doing exclusive live streams into the different platforms or making their live streams available through these different platforms. Some people make themselves available for access. So for example, if you're very knowledgeable on something and people want access to that information, then in that case, some people will join just so you can advise them through that group. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. When it comes to that exchange that you're going to be making, it will require more work, where affiliate income is a little bit more passive because you do it during your live stream while you're already doing the thing that you do. And then you also have your replays working on your behalf, where the crowdfunding stuff usually requires more effort on your part in terms of exclusive live streams or anything that you're going to offer to them. It's more time that you're going to need to create all of those things for the people that are helping support you in what it is that you do, which is perfectly okay. And it's to be expected, but it's just something that I wanted to let you know if you are considering this as one of your monetization options for your live streams. Now, the next thing on our list that you can do through your live streams is merchandise. Now, when it comes to merchandise, that comes down to coffee mugs and pillows and aprons and t-shirts and hoodies like the one that I'm wearing right now. In fact, if you look right over my shoulder right here, you see this StreamYard pillow right here in the back. That is also merchandise. And you might think to yourself, who really buys that kind of stuff from a live stream? Tons of people do. In fact, this right here is a piece of merchandise. This is a mug that comes from a content creator that I love and enjoy. I even have a whole section of my closet dedicated to just merch that I get from content creators, because it's just one way that you can support the content creators that you love that helps them do what it is that they do. And your viewers are going to think the same way. But when it comes to merchandise, all you have to do is either make a design yourself or have a design made and then upload it to somewhere like Spreadshop. That's what I use. And when you upload it to Spreadshop, then what's going to happen is they give you a completely free store. And then for every sale that you make, they take a small percentage, but the front side of that is all free for you. In fact, I don't think there's a merchandise shop on the internet that charges you a monthly fee or anything like that. They all want you to send people their way. So because of that, all the merch shops are free. And I do have one big tip for you when it comes to the merchandise that you are offering off of your live stream. And that tip is, when it comes to merchandise, a lot of people will just slap their logo on something. If you are a company or, a big brand or something like that, then that makes tons of sense. But if you are an individual or you're a content creator, then in that particular case, the merch that you make, you'll get a lot more sales if you make the merchandise about your audience and not about you. In other words, have your logo available, but prioritize things that your audience might find interesting. They might find funny, inside jokes around your community. Those types of things will sell more than just your logo. As an example, with the merch that I put out, I have a bunch of different stuff. But for example, I have a shirt that says something about gamers. I have another one that says something about vloggers. I have some with YouTube subscribe buttons on it, encouraging people to subscribe to YouTube channels. And for my audience of content creators, those things sell a lot more than the ones with my logo on them. And the reason for that is because somebody doesn't even have to know me or like me in order to buy merch that means something to them. Next on our list is creating products or services based on the skills that you currently have and the things that you can currently offer to your live stream viewers. And depending on where you're at in your journey, this one might seem way out there for you. You might think to yourself, like, I don't have a product or service in me. Like, I don't know what I could make for the people that interact with my content. But let me share a story with you really quick. I live in Asia. I fly to the United States for conferences, and it's a really long flight, which means I need stuff to do. So on one of the flights, I created a planner that I could use in my iPad. And I made it for myself as a way to plan out my content, just kind of get an overview of the content that I would be putting out. And I landed in America, and I already had the thing made because of all the time that I had. And I showed it to a friend of mine, and they said, wow, this is really cool. You should sell this. And I thought to myself, I made this for me, but let me put it online and just see what happens. And fortunately, when I put it online, since I've made it available, I've made thousands and thousands of dollars just by making it available online, even though it was something that I intended only for myself at first. And of course, I made some modifications to it to make it sellable, but the idea is you might have a product or service in you that you might not be thinking about right now. The next way to make money on this list is through sponsorships. Now, when it comes to sponsorships, you might be thinking to yourself that you need a ton of viewers in order to get sponsors. That's not true at all. What you actually need is you need an engaged audience that's a perfect fit for the relationship that you're going to have with the companies that are going to sponsor you. As a quick side story, when I first started making content, I was live streaming on a regular basis and I slowly grew my community as the process goes. And when I started reaching to where I would have about 100 active viewers watching the stream concurrently through my stream, that's when I started reaching out for sponsorships. And I got one immediately when I started reaching out because the audience that I was in front of was a perfect fit for the people that I reached out to for that sponsorship. In fact, they're such a great fit that they're still a sponsor to this day. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead now, even if you're just getting started with live streaming, and start writing down a list of companies that you would love to work with and start trying to interact with them in some way so you can go ahead and start building those relationships. So when the time comes, if it's not there already, when the time comes, you can start reaching out to them as the first people that you're going to offer sponsorships to. The next way to make more money with your live streams, if you're live streaming to YouTube specifically, is to make sure that you have all of the monetization options enabled for your live stream. Often when you're scheduling a live stream, it will default with the monetization options turned off. So you want to make sure that before you go live, you go into your creator studio on your YouTube channel and you make sure that you have your monetization turned on so that on the way into your live stream, people will see ads, or some people will see ads. In addition to that, you want to make sure you have super chats turned on. What super chats are is where people can donate to you while you are live. Now, depending on what it is that you offer with your live streams, in some cases, people will donate in exchange for something that you offer during a live stream, which kind of could go back into the product and service thing that we were talking about before. But people will also do that as a means to support you, as a way to say thanks, and as a way to just grab attention in your live streams. Another thing you want to make sure that you have turned on if you're live streaming to YouTube is you want to make sure that you have your channel memberships turned on. This brings in some of the crowdfunding that we were talking about earlier, but the really cool thing about live streams on YouTube is your channel members have a green name and they get a little icon next to their name. So all of the people that are members in your live stream, they get that extra attention brought to them as supporters of the channel because they're the people that are helping make the thing happen. If you are on YouTube and you have more than 10,000 subscribers, you also have access to the merch shelf on YouTube. So that is a way to pull in the merchandise that we were talking about earlier. So you want to make sure that you also have that activated. In some cases, when you schedule your streams, it doesn't happen automatically. So you want to make sure that you go in and you organize your merch shelf around your live stream as well. In fact, if you are live streaming to YouTube and you want to get more views on your live streams, more activity in your live streams, you just want to have better live streams in general, make sure you click into this playlist right here because every single video or live stream in here is related to live streaming on YouTube. You can go ahead and click into that now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.